Hello and welcome to another episode of Fully Charged, this time coming from the interior of the exquisite electric vehicle that is the BMW i3. Now, this really is a kind of follow-on to the episode we did about the new Renault Zoe, the 41 kilowatt-hour Renault Zoe. The original BMW i3 came out with a 60 amp-hour battery. How easy is that to understand? Which was 22 kilowatt-hours. And this is the new BMW i3, which has a 94 amp-hour battery, which is 33 kilowatt-hours. Just to make things really confusing. I was very confused about it, but I now understand. So it was gone from a 22 kilowatt-hour battery to a 33 kilowatt-hour battery in the same housing, exactly the same as the Zoe. So this is a higher density battery in the same pack. And apparently it's the same weight, which is quite interesting because I know the Zoe was slightly heavier. And what that means is in the real world, as people who've driven i3s know, the real world range of the original Zoe was around the sort of 80 to 90, 75, 80, that kind of range, when it said it was 120. This one is clearly around 120 when they say it's probably 140 or 150, but you would clearly get a genuine, real, all the year round, it's the middle of winter now, 120 miles out of this car, which is fantastic, absolutely brilliant change. But here's the difference that I know is a fact. BMW have stated very publicly that they're happy to carry out a retrofit on original BMW i3s with the 22 kilowatt-hour battery. You can trade that battery in and they'll fit this new battery pack in, which gives you a very substantial increased mileage, and they'll use those old battery packs as static storage systems, which proves, according to BMW, their commitment to sustainable and clean technology. There we go. So that's a bit of spiel from BMW, but that is very good. So they're going to use the battery packs from the old cars to do a static energy storage. And one of the key areas that's going to be used in, I can see that's happening, it's what's happening with the old Renault Zoe batteries, is for electric car charging. That all electric car, large scale ones, I'm talking rapid chargers on motorways, will have battery packs attached to them, which will be constantly charging from the mains, which will give the chargers the ability to deliver a great deal more power in a short period. I've got this car for a few hours today. What was annoying was it wasn't full when we got it. So I've got no idea, I'm not doing a kind of realistic test, but it's very obvious that, when it's half full, less than half full, it's saying 60 miles. So, it's giving an estimate of about 122, 125 miles on a charge. As a lot of regular viewers will know, and people who've got these cars know, you can get this car with a range extended option, a 250cc, effectively motorbike engine that is in the back of the car. That runs a generator which can maintain your charge level as you drive along, or can extend the overall range. So the overall range of this car would be, with the range extender, would be a realistic 160, 170 miles of normal driving any time of the year. But you've got to put petrol in. It's very small petrol tanks, about 4.5 litres, so it's not going to take you that far, but you can maintain the charge and just keep it going. So if you, like now, if I was to put on the range extender, it would keep the battery level at this level, which is about 55%, as long as you had petrol and you just put more petrol in, it would keep going. This isn't an in-depth review of the i3 because I've already driven it quite a lot, but I have to say, as soon as I get back in one, I go, God, this is a really nice car. This really is one of the best electric cars there are on the roads. Going past a lot of army trucks. I don't think they're hybrids, I'm not sure. I really do love the i3. I think it's the best electric car of its size, and it's the best one to drive. There we go, look at that, whoom, burnt them off. They've barely started and we're already nearly there. Fantastic. And that is really encouraging, that these cars are being upgraded, that the manufacturers are sticking with them and selling them. I mean, one area I know in the UK where you see these, where there's a cluster of i3s, is an area in London called Notting Hill. It's where our ex-Prime Minister David Cameron has got a gaff. Houses around there they're very reasonable. 4-bedroom terraced Georgian house, £7 to £10 million. So, you know, if you're thinking of moving to London, I'd look in that area. It's very nice. But the streets of that area used to be chock-a-block, bursting with massive BMW, Volvo, Range Rover SUVs, huge, great cars. Now it's bursting with BMW i3s. They've really caught on with the Notting Hill set. It is such a joy to drive a proper electric car, you know, because I've been trying out quite a few different hybrids and plug-in hybrids and things like that. When you drive a proper electric car like this, it's just really nice. It works really well. The regen, just check the regen. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. It's just set up really well. It's really easy to drive. If you get the chance to do a test drive of an i3, do take it. Most of the BMW dealerships are quite good with their i range. They have i specialists. And if you can book a test drive, I think you'll really enjoy driving these cars. They're very, very nice. So what I'm going to do now is try and increase my overall electric range while I've got the car. So I'm going to plug it in a public car park charging facility. It's marked on the map. I just like using public chargers, you know. Don't hate me for it. Beautiful, look at that. So what we did was we drove to a public charger, plugged in, only 13 amps, only 3 kilowatts, so it didn't add much. It added, well, we had a quick bite to eat for lunch, it added 10 miles of pure range. So, you know, okay, so it was just to see, just because I knew that charger was there, that's why. And then I had to think about it. We had to talk about it over lunch, and I was going, well, you know, if in a world where I had a bottomless pit of money, which would I buy, the Hyundai Ioniq or the BMW i3 with the bigger battery? And I love driving this car. This is the nicest car to drive that I've ever been in. But I think I'd have the Ioniq, just because it's got that extra range. You know, it does do 150 to 200 miles on the charge, not 100 to 120. And that does make a big difference. Oh, I did, because I really love I'd forgotten about how much I love the Ioniq. Basically, I think the important thing to take away from this is don't listen to my opinions about which car. If you're going to buy an electric car, have a go in all of them. If you can, because I've just heard from someone who went to a Hyundai sales place and they didn't have the pure electric and they didn't want them to drive it, so they had a go in the hybrid one, liked it so much they bought an electric one from a dealership that was 150 miles away, went and got it and drove home in it without any trouble on one charge. So there you go. You've got to be determined if you want to have a go in an electric car, because the dealerships aren't always on your side, which doesn't really make very much commercial sense, but there we go. The rear seats. Now, okay, my cousin has one of these cars, and the weird doors that open backwards, like we've described in the previous review of the i3. My auntie is 97 years old. She's an absolutely extraordinary woman. She's 97. She was in the back. My cousin wouldn't let her go in the front. She was in the back. He brought her over on Boxing Day, and she was just fabulous. And she was reminiscing about the time that a bomb fell outside her house during the war and didn't explode. Because if it had, I wouldn't be here, nor would my mum, and nor would Auntie Peggy. So that was a very interesting conversation. It all came back to her in immense detail from 70 years ago. Amazing, isn't it? Yeah, so the i3, my cousin loves it. All the people I've ever met that drive i3s absolutely adore them. You know, they're really brilliant cars, and this is such a brilliant step forward to make them have a bigger battery that's no bigger. One last point, because I really should make this, which is the upgrade that you can take out your 22 kilowatt hour battery and put in the 33 kilowatt hour battery in the same car. It's perfectly technically feasible. I've heard through reading blogs and things, not from anyone who seems to actually know, that this service is not currently available in the UK or the USA, which puts a bit of a crimp on that piece of news. Yes, you can upgrade your battery and put in a new battery and have your old battery used again to, you know, back up the grid. Not here or in America. So I don't know if that's true. If you do know, please comment and I will correct that piece of information in an upcoming news episode. But anyway, that's all for now, because This is just a very quick episode. Please do subscribe to Fully Charged if you haven't already. Have a look, merely a look, at the Patreon link at the bottom of the beneath this video. And as always, with all these shows, because I really appreciate the fact that you watch them, if you have been, thank you for watching.